Signal Messenger is a free and open source application for exchanging encrypted messages, which is available for most smartphones. It's also available for macOS as a desktop application, but security researcher Patrick Wardle has found that there's an insecure way in which it stores notifications from Signal Messenger which are supposed to have been deleted. In fact, it stores them in plain text, and Patrick's application Au revoir is able to dump all of these messages in plain text in a single text file. We'll take this to the next level by creating a DuckyScript payload which can steal all of the Signal messages on a macOS computer in this episode of Cyber Weapons Lab. Security researcher Patrick Wardle found that the way that macOS stores notifications from Signal actually caches them for an indefinite period of time and kind of violates the trust of people who are expecting their messages to be private and secure. This discovery led to the creation of his application Au revoir, which enables you to read, delete, or even dump all of these messages with a couple of clicks. Now, we wanted to take this a step further and understand how something like this can be turned into a DuckyScript payload, because this is the fundamental kind of design and way that you would go about writing a computer program or developing an exploit. So we chose to use it as an example to automate the steps of dumping Signal messages in this episode. To do this, we're going to use a USB rubber ducky that's running a special firmware version called the TwinDuck. Now, the USB rubber ducky is designed to look like a USB drive, but actually act like a keyboard when it's plugged into the computer. The TwinDuck allows the computer to recognize it as a USB hub/keyboard combo, which has a drive mounted, which means we can basically bring our own files and take our own files away with the USB drive instead of needing to actually download a file or exfiltrate data via an email. That's a lot more convenient because we can cover our tracks and we can even work on a computer that either temporarily or permanently doesn't have internet access. So that's pretty helpful, but to do this, we'll need to download that firmware and flash it to the USB rubber ducky, so make sure to do that first. Otherwise, this tutorial won't work because you'll be running the original firmware and it will only be able to output keystrokes but not actually store anything. Now, aside from the USB rubber ducky, you'll need to download the Au revoir application. And aside from that, you'll need a macOS computer that has Signal messages stored on it. Now, Signal has patched this vulnerability, but that patch is only on the Signal side. The messages are still stored on macOS until you go in and delete them. So this tutorial will also double as a guide for anyone who has Signal messages on their computer and wants a simple and easy way of deleting them so this attack won't work on you. Now, you can find that on Patrick's website, Objective-C, and we'll make sure to link to that. And with that free tool, you'll be able to check for yourself and see if you have Signal messages stored and begin to use your USB rubber ducky to exploit other macOS computers to potentially capture any conversations that were left on them as well. So this is pretty straightforward. Let's get started. Now, before we get started, it's important to mention that stealing messages, aka exfiltrating messages without someone's permission, is definitely illegal. So if you do this, make sure that you are either a pen tester or testing it on your own system, or you have permission to do this on the system that you are demonstrating it on. This is supposed to be a proof of concept to show you how to use the USB rubber ducky and not actually a payload you should be running on random computers. So with that out of the way, the first thing we'll need to do to get the USB rubber ducky ready for this is to make sure that you have the TwinDuck firmware available on the USB rubber ducky. Now, the way to do this is in detail by following the Modify the USB rubber ducky with custom firmware article on Nullbyte, but briefly, what you'll need to do is go to the GitHub where you'll find the USB rubber ducky software, and you can clone it or download the entire set within which you will find the Ducky Flasher. Now, the Ducky Flasher includes a couple different types of firmware. In this case, we'll be using option number 4, the TwinDuck, which allows us to both execute an HID attack, but also mount the USB rubber ducky as a flash drive. Now, this has the added advantage of letting us be able to change the payload on it without needing to take the SD card out, because we can just plug it in and, if we can dodge the initial keystrokes of the payload, just swap very quickly what's inside the USB rubber ducky without needing to have a separate device to basically read the SD card. So that can be handy in a pinch. So the next step to using the USB rubber ducky is writing DuckyScript. And the way to do this is pretty basic. You can see here there's a website called ducktoolkit.com, which allows you to encode DuckyScript into a inject.bin file. And DuckyScript itself is pretty simple. So here you can see there's a couple basic elements like remarks, REM, where you can say the way that your script works, which won't be included as executable code. You can include delays, which allow you to account for the amount of time it will take to open a program or to respond to something if a computer has multiple windows open and maybe it's processing something, or if it's a little bit older. So delays are essential while developing DuckyScript. And then strings, where you can actually just pass something directly as though you were typing it in the keyboard. This is useful as soon as you get a terminal window, because as soon as you have terminal access, you can usually just start sending a bunch of strings which tell the computer to do something and allow you to be able to get started without too much of a problem with trying to do anything fancy. But here you can also see there's a variety of different keystrokes you can use, the GUI key being particularly useful. Now the GUI key, the graphic user interface key, is usually the Windows key, but on OS X it allows us to do something like this, where we can quickly type command and space in order to open the Finder window. And we can use that to jump into the terminal window and get started with the hacking that we want to do. Now today what we're going to focus on is the Objective-C project by researcher Patrick Wardle, who previously worked for the NSA and now develops these free and really awesome security tools for OS X. So some of these are designed to prevent ransomware from surprising you by alerting you anytime someone or a program is encrypting files. You have the ability to see when your microphone and keyboard are turned on, so you know if someone is spying on you. And there's other great tools like Do Not Disturb to protect against evil maid attacks that you can check out. And if you like these tools, you can also donate because he creates these great things and we want to support him as best we can. So the tool that we're going to be checking out today he developed is called Au Revoir, and what its purpose is to show you the various notifications that have been saved by Signal and allow you to either remove them, save them, or dump them all to a text file. Now the way to use this is to just click on download from the GitHub link, and it will download the application, and after you unzip it, you're able to open it and view all of the messages that are contained in the database. Now that's great, but I wanted to take this a step further and develop a DuckyScript that accomplishes most of these, with the only thing we need to actually do be click the View Messages button, because we're not able to simulate mouse clicks in the USB DuckyScript itself. Now, if we had some more time, we could actually probably write a Python program to simulate mouse clicks and actually make this a completely automated script. But because this is just a demonstration, we're going to keep it so it's just a one-click script for now. So we will go ahead and delete these. And to show you the way that the script is going to work, we'll go ahead and go to the Duck Toolkit and take a look at what the script is saying for the USB rubber ducky to do. So initially we allow a delay of 2 seconds to let the USB rubber ducky mount, and then we do the GUI space to bring up the Finder window and open a terminal window where we start the Au Revoir app from the USB rubber ducky since it's mounted, and you'll need to make sure that the ducky mounts with the name ducky or something similar so that you can put it in this part of the script. Otherwise it won't be able to find the Au Revoir app. Next, it will wait, and then after waiting 10 seconds for the user to select the View All Messages, it will select all messages, escape, and then quit out of the window, allowing also for the extra pop-up window you saw earlier where it asks if you want to donate. Finally, it will go ahead and Command Tab back into the terminal window where it opens up a nano window where it creates a file called stealer.txt on the USB rubber ducky. It'll paste the conversations that we've intercepted into this window and then save and exit and begin taking care of the final step, which is cleanup, to make sure that we don't leave any windows open on the target system. We'll go ahead and unmount the USB rubber ducky, and finally we will use the exit command to clear the commands from the terminal history so the user that owns a computer can't see that we've been in there making different commands. And finally, the last step is to use the GUI key combination of keystrokes to actually exit out of the window and leave nothing but empty screen. So to show you how this works, I'm going to go ahead and plug this in, and it usually takes about 1.5 minutes to execute. But with some luck, we can shave that down with some revisions to the script in order to remove some of the safeguards I've allowed to make sure that there's enough processing time and the script doesn't get stuck. Now, it's important to also see that the USB rubber ducky is just a output device. It's not able to sense what's happening on the screen. So all of this is done with the understanding that a single pop-up window can derail this whole process. So we've opened the app, and then I just click on View Messages, and the script will take it from here. It'll go ahead and copy everything and clean up all the windows we have open on the screen while exfiltrating the data back to our USB rubber ducky so we can make off with it without needing to rely on a network connection or some other tricky way like email of exfiltrating this data. So we've nanoed and created the stealer.txt file, and if it already exists, it'll just append to this file. And it's now pasting the information into this file so that we have a complete copy of all the signal messages that we've exfiltrated from this system. So the next step will be to save this with the Control X key combination. We will confirm we want to exit. And then now that we have all the conversations, we will set to work with shutting down all the windows we have, eliminating any of the logs from the terminal window, and then eventually getting rid of the terminal window itself. Now that's as simple as it is to write something that's able to completely bypass the encryption on signal messages by taking advantage of these stored messages left over in macOS's notification system. You can see how quickly we can develop a ducky script payload to take advantage of something like this. So if you have a USB rubber ducky, make sure to try out the different types of firmware because they can really enable a lot of different ways of thinking about how to develop these sorts of attacks. As you can see, we can use a USB rubber ducky to rapidly develop an exploit for pretty much any sort of application. In this case, we were able to bypass encrypted messaging, exploiting a flaw in the way that macOS stores these notifications using a relatively simple application and a little bit of ducky script. While our script did require a single click to interact, this is because the USB rubber ducky is designed to emulate a keyboard and not actually a mouse. So generating clicking events is not something that it can currently do, although in the future, implementing a small Python program to do so would be pretty easy because you could write it and then store it on the USB rubber ducky when it has the USB TwinDuck firmware installed. That's all we have for this episode of Cyber Weapons Lab. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.